Good morning. Happy Thursday. Welcome to the Rick Helps Real Estate Podcast, where we share numbers in the Phoenix area market, let you know what's going on. And there's a bunch of stuff going on, not really anything new and earth-shattering today. We're still sitting at 4,100 listings today that are active, which is pretty low for a Thursday. Now, tomorrow's Good Friday. We got Easter weekend coming up, so I don't expect inventory to come flying up. So it's going to be interesting to see, but there's still not much out there. If we I know, I want to read you something that I found. Remember yesterday I said there are no experts. I found an article from September 9th, 2020, and it's titled, "There is a Great Shakeout Coming." A report from Mortgage News Daily: mortgage delinquencies spiked in June, and the serious delinquency rate, loans 90 or more days past due but not in foreclosure, reached its highest level in more than 5 years. CoreLogic predicts that, remember them? CoreLogic predicts that, barring additional government programs and support, serious delinquency rates could nearly double from the June 2020 level by early 2022. Not only could millions of families potentially lose their home through a short sale or foreclosure, but this could also create downward pressure on home prices and consequently home equity as distressed sales are pushed back into the market. So we're not seeing that. There were plenty of predictions that we were going to have doom and gloom and foreclosures, and they just haven't showed up yet. In fact, the forbearance numbers that are coming out now are showing that there are people exiting their forbearance at a pretty good clip. And yesterday was the last day for the first round of forbearance. And people are, when I mean exit their forbearance, that means they just redrew their loan and went back to normal. And that's what we're seeing. There's still a ways to go. So make sure, is my microphone working here? Yes, I can see it working. I have a little audio thing on the bottom, and the line where my mic is going, I couldn't see it. I've done that before, right? Remember? Okay, let's cruise through the news here for a second. If you look here, this is the Cromford Index. Now, I spoke the other day, and I mistakenly said that this meant green men inventory was good. It does not mean that. The supply, when it's green, it means it's good for sellers. Supply index here is 22.1. When the arrow gets to yellow, that means it's normal, 100. And you can see that the buyer traffic's creeping back down there. It's creeping down because there's nothing to find. And as we said yesterday, that there were headlines that came out that said pending inventory sales plunged 10.6%. Inventory is at record lows. And it just says there's not enough homes for sale. And as a result, let me turn them off. Not enough homes for sale. And as a result, pending home sales drops 10.6. So there just isn't a lot of homes going under contract because you can't find one. And speaking of that, let me go to my 7-day moving average. The yellow line here to the right is, let's see if I can make this a little bit bigger for your folks here, is homes under contract. The blue ones are new listings that come on. I took a faint little line here and drew it, and showing that, yeah, number of homes under contract is starting to drop ever so slightly. We had a little glimmer of hope here for 170 moving average where listings were outpacing homes under contract, and then that just disappeared the past 2 weeks in a big way. So we're clipping along, losing about 200 homes a week on this index. So, we're not seeing anything flying there. 10 cities, here's an article here. It says 10 cities that are seeing a boom in building. They mention, this is from Realtor.com. They mention our median list price is $469,000. The number of permits we have is 8,614. That's up 9%. So this data is lagging. So it's out to these are probably January numbers. So it kind of surprised me here. It said buyers can score this 2-bedroom, 2-bath brand new abode in Mesa for $135. And I'm thinking, what the heck can you get in Mesa for $135? So I took a look, and it's a modular home. Cute place, but it's not a not a single family. I mean, it's single family, but it's a modular. So if you're looking to retire in Mesa and you want something brand new, then it's not a bad place. Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac. Fannie Mae's serious delinquency rate peaked in February, and this is where I was saying that the doom and gloom is not quite there yet. It peaked at 5.59% following the housing bubble. That's the one back in 2008, and peaked at 3.2% in August of 2020. So there's quite a bit of difference between now and the last bubble. And it says that let's see, for recent loans originated in 2009 to 2021, 96% of the portfolio, 2.29% are seriously delinquent, down from 2.3. Mortgages in forbearance are counted as delinquent in this monthly report, and they're not reported to the credit bureau. So they're just delaying their payment. So that's no big deal. You've heard me speak before about, here Zillow has this thing. Look at this. Because everybody's staying home, creation of 3D home tours soared as stay-at-home orders expanded. So see this in March? All of a sudden, boom. And this is based on Zillow's data. So Zillow has a 3D tour, but you need to do it with your phone. And I'm sorry, it's not really 3D. If you look at it, all they're doing is you're supposed to take your phone, take a picture, move, take a picture, and it takes forever. You got to walk around every room and do these photos with your phone, and then it stitches them together, and it takes a few hours. And you can only do that on Zillow's platform. Now, I've been advocating these for a long time. This is a 360 camera. You can see the lenses on both sides. And so this thing expands out. This is my tripod. It's called an Insta360. So I set that in the living room. I hide it around the wall, and I take a picture. And then I move it, and I take a picture. And these are great. Realtors, if you're looking for one, you should get one of these. These work with Matterport. Now, Matterport can get kind of expensive. You can do like 5 tours for $39 a month, and then they pop up from there. When you get to 6 tours, they hit you pretty hard. But there's also one out there that I use. It's called Cloud Pano, and I like it. But I want to show you what Matterport is. And for those of you that are looking at homes from home, don't skip that 3D tour tab. So there's 2 things I always recommend. One, go to Google Street View and look at the neighborhood. I have found a few where the house looks really cool. I zoom in, take a look, and the house next door looks like a salvage yard. In the historic areas, you really got to pay attention because you're going to see this cute little bungalow, and then you just go to Street View and you move over to the next house, and it's a shack. So you got to be careful in some of those historic neighborhoods. But here's the tours that I'm talking about. There's a beautiful home here in Scottsdale. And let me get it over there for you. And it says here, view tour. Now you'll see some that say view tour, and then you look, and all it is they took the pictures. And Carlos, how do I partner with realtors to do 3D tours for them as a side gig? We can talk about that. All they're doing is taking pictures, just stitching them together and playing music. That's not a tour. So you're looking at all these photos. Now you just got to click on it and sit and watch the music play. That's not a tour. This is a tour. So when you view the tour, watch this. This is what I like. They start out with a dollhouse. See that? And that shows you the floor plan of the house. Now you can do that with this little camera. But what I like is, so many times we show up at the house and go, oh, I thought it was bigger than this. Or I couldn't really understand the floor plan. I don't really know where the office was. They say there's a 4th bedroom, but I can't see it. And so these little dots are where you place your camera. So you can take a little walk here and walk into the next room. I can click right here. And then when I get to that spot, it's lagging a little bit because I'm streaming. But you can look around. These are terrific. You get a good feel for what the house looks like. And doing Matterport on 2 levels is kind of tricky. You got to be careful. I tried doing one at a friend's house once and I blew it. But you can literally just walk from room to room. So I like Matterport. I think their quality's better. Cloud Pano's got some cool things where you can actually set up some stuff outside and, like little videos of what's going on in the neighborhood and stuff. So it's very important when you're looking for homes to be able to do as much research as you can before you get in the car. Sometimes, you set up these tours and you've got, 8 houses on the tour and 5 of them you wish you'd never pulled up to. You pull up and you look at the neighborhood or you get inside the house and you can't tell what it looks like. And it's different for realtors now. It's different because now buyers tell us what they want to see. They give us a list where it used to be that listings only showed up on paper at the real estate office and you had to meet there and you had to flip through the book. Remember that, old timers? And now everything's online. While real estate agents beat up some of these online brokerages like Zillow, it's very popular. People use it. Now there's some iBuyers out there. Speaking of Zillow now buys and sells homes. And so they buy them, they remodel them, put them on the market. So does Open Door, so does OfferPad. And I've advised before, make sure you understand the fees. If they give you an offer, they don't have a commission, they have a service fee. Runs about 7.5%. That's bigger than the average on commissions right now is running about 5%, by the way, not 6%. And so they charge you about 7.5%, and then they hit you with a list of repairs. And those list of repairs, I mean, that 7.5% is actually the profit that they're making on margin. And then they go in and do repairs. Now, OfferPad's going to go public here, and they're going to get a lot of money. And Open Door is now the number 1. Zillow is actually number 3 when it comes to buying and selling. But none of them, zero, zip, nada, are making a profit. They show that they're making a profit until you look at EBITDA, take all their fees, taxes, and all that stuff. They're all losing their shirt. And they're losing money on an upward market. So, I mean, if things flatten out, I don't see what's going to happen. I still remember I was pretty ticked off in March when, spring training canceled and we were all done. When it looked like we weren't going to have any business here, they pulled out. They canceled their contracts, all 3 of them. Now, they gave you back your earnest money, or sometimes they gave you $5,000, but they bailed. So you had a contract with them to sell them your house. You're packing. They were making phone calls going, sorry, we're canceling your deal. And I was asking anybody, can you send me the contract and show me where they could do that? So those guys scare me a little bit. It's it's a tough market. It's hard enough out there unless you, without having people cancel contracts. Coming into the next month, we have got to see inventory rise. And I was reading through several articles this morning, Realtor.com, Mortgage Wire, and everything. And rates have gone up a little bit, and then they came back down. Even Amarillo, Texas, is having an inventory problem. My hometown where I grew up, Port Angeles, Washington, 20,000 people live there. Beautiful little town. There's only, I think my brother said yesterday, there's only 4 single-family homes. He went to Realtor.com and looked. There's only 4. How do real estate agents even survive in a town like that when there's only 4 listings? I mean, when a house goes up for sale, it must have cars just lying down the street. But it's like that neighborhood that I track in Ocotillo right now. I think there's only 4. There used to be 85. Let's take a look. Let me go over there and let's not guess. Let's take a look. So I've got these saved searches in here, and Ocotillo's right there. Ready? It's loading up. Oh, wait a minute. We got some new listings. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here's a new listing for $445. It's 1,500 square feet. Nice home here on Citrus Way is 1,900 square feet. This is a big one here at 2,600 square feet, Montana Drive, and 29 for $665. And in Clubhouse Drive, well, I don't know if you've been there before. It's a pretty cool place. $2.5 million. I'll take you out there today if you want to see it. Now, in the retirement communities, they're suffering inventory as well. If I go to Sun Lakes, they normally have about 150 homes on the market right now. This time of year, they have 20. And out of those 20, 3 of them are modular homes or mobile homes. So there's not much to pick from. But even though there isn't much to pick from there are no bidding wars. There's some slight upticks, but people aren't lining the streets and outbidding you on the retirement homes. So that's not a bad place to go looking. Carlos, how do I partner with realtors to do 3D tours with them as a side gig? You really, a lot of people just use Facebook and show examples of their work and try to get in front of as many realtors as you can doing that. You have to either friend them or you have to run some Facebook ads showing your work, or you can, call brokerages and see if they have anybody. The challenge is a lot of great photography companies out there. I use Lister Pros. They will do a 3D tour inside of that package. So you're not calling two different people. You're calling one company and saying, I want the house shot, standard, photographs for the house. Then I want a 3D tour and I want a drone shot, and it all comes in one package. So it's highly competitive market. It used to be if you had a drone, you could really kill it and make a lot of money. But like anything, the more people get out there and do this, the lower the price goes, and that's what you're facing. I don't think you'd get much more than $75 a home, and it's a tough market. So we're still going to have our call tomorrow at 3 with Pat. I think I've got to double check with him today, make sure he doesn't have any Good Friday plans. And so we plan to do that on 3 o'clock on Fridays, where we go a little bit deeper on what's going on with the financing market. Now, we looked at the 7% rule the other day. We're starting to see some lenders that are coming in and working around that and rearranging their portfolio, making second homes easier to buy. The down payments have increased, but there are some that are finding a workaround. That's usually the case. So other than that, have a super day. See you tomorrow.